Hey you want to get jacked, but you don't have a ton of time. You need desperately 8 exercises that will train your entire body and take very little time and make you ultra jacked. What? Really? Yep, let's go do it. All right, folks. So the first disclaimer here is that I don't know anything and I don't actually have a PhD. Maybe, but it's the second disclaimer is more important. These are not the only 8 exercises that'll save you a ton of time in the gym and hit huge swaths of your body, but they are 8 very good options for you to try, and there are many more. We're gonna use roughly 3 criteria here that all 8 of these are gonna meet decently well. And you can use these criteria yourself to both invent, crazy I know, and select exercises that also work in this regard to give you lots of muscle growth for a ton of the body with very little time spent. Criteria number 1 is that every exercise we're going to share with you today hits multiple muscles at the same time. 0 isolation moves. There is nothing wrong with isolation moves. Training your biceps 1 bicep at a time is totally dope if you have a ton of time. If you don't, multiple muscles together are absolutely superior because you just checklist all of them. Part 2 is that no one muscle can absolutely receive the vast majority of the stimulus and be the biggest limiting factor. So if we do something like a wide grip bench press, which will not make the list today, yeah, it's technically triceps and front delts and chest, but the way the wide grip makes it work is that the chest ends up being the huge limiting factor. It's really just a chest exercise. After that exercise, you can't say your triceps are really cooked. But with a close grip, maybe you could. And then the third one is we try just decently make the exercises such that they're really good range of motion and ideally have a challenge at the deep stretch. They're not all gonna be exactly as awesome as we want, but all of them are at least not shitty. And at least not shitty is my life motto that I still haven't lived up to yet. Let's go not live up to that and still be shitty, but check out our first exercise. All right, folks, exercise number 1 to train a lot of muscle and save a bunch of time is a combination exercise of 2 exercises, the stiff-legged deadlift and the barbell bent row. But Dr. Mike, why? Hasn't science gone too far? Maybe. So if this thing escapes from the lab, 2 pumps from a shotgun should take care of it. In case it works though, don't just shoot it, consider it first. I'm gonna demo it a little bit, and then I'm gonna explain why it works. So check this out. What you're gonna do in the first part of this exercise is you're gonna tighten up your lower back, push your hips back all the way, let your arms relax, chest up, get into a deep stiff-legged deadlift position. Your knees should be nice and far back to put tension on the hams. What you do then is a row in which you both row to your tummy, but you also lift up your chest. So you row like this. After that, you drop down into completely hanging arms and you go ultra deep into your painful stiff-legged deadlift. Row, drop, repeat. Ow. Row, drop, repeat. And as you row, come up high, drop, repeat. Mike, this isn't an exercise. It's literal make-believe. You've run out of good ideas, arguably you never had them to begin with. This is just fluff because the YouTube channel is dying. While that is all true, there are good reasons to do this exercise. By far, the biggest effect of the stiff-legged deadlift is in that bottom position. And the eccentric control, the lowering part, is probably the most effective part. So you'll notice that we row up, and that doesn't help our hamstrings a ton, because now we're rowing and we're hitting our hams, splitting the load. But when we're going down into that deep stretch, that's a ton of hamstrings. At the same time, when you're down in a super deep stretch and just try to row conventionally without moving your back, it's a great exercise. However, it gets really hard, huge mechanical disadvantage all the way at the top when you're trying to touch your tummy. So failure on that exercise would be like, I get it to here and then I can't, but I have a ton of good reps down here. So we fix that problem by rising up during the actual row. Because we're rising up, we get that big bottom stretch. And as we're rising, we're contracting our back so we can do a lot of rows before we get to failure. When we find ourselves in that upper position, we're like, well, hold on a second. We eccentrically control and let our arms drop, keeping our back stable, and then we dip into a stiff-legged deadlift again. You get all the benefits, pretty much, of a stiff-legged deadlift, or at least a lot of them, and a ton of benefits of the row, so modified that you can continue to go closer and closer to failure without being limited by the fact that you mechanically can't touch your tummy when you're bent all the way. It takes the best part of the bent row and the best part of the stiff-legged deadlift, combines them raises them in a nice home, sends the exercise to school. It never really fits in. All the other exercise children are just like bench press or lat pull down. Everyone knows what they're for. It's like the ugly duckling. It doesn't know where it's going. It doesn't know where it belongs. But as soon as it gets slotted into your RP hypertrophy app workouts as a huge time saver, it's going to have a friend for the first time ever. The next time-saving, huge muscle mass exercise is the deficit deadlift. This is a brutal exercise, not for the faint of heart. You want fitness? You're going to find it somewhere in this exercise, maybe about 8 reps and a half when you start reconsidering your entire life trajectory that got you into this miserable place. The deficit can be as deep as you want. Generally, the deeper the better. Because if you're sitting your butt down on your heels and you're standing up with all of your might, you have to use almost all of the musculature of your back. You have to use your quads, your adductors, your glutes, even your hamstrings, your traps, your neck, and even your mind. Even though it's not a complex exercise, if you take a deep breath of air in, you start at sets of 15 reps, gently lowering the bar to the ground with a soft touch or a full pause. There's no injury concern here. You don't even have to worry about keeping your back tight. You can if you'd like, but even if you round your back, it's no big deal as long as you start slow and work out from there. A few more tips. Versa grips, put them on. Otherwise, your grip will always limit you. Arms straight. You don't want bending your biceps, can get you hurt. It also kind of throws off the dynamics of the movement a little bit. It's going to be a limiting factor too soon, so let the arms stretch fully. Keep your chest nice and upright. And if you start with a low chest, no problem. Make it more upright as you stand. And then as you lower, keep going. The last tip, I'm out of breath. These demos. What does that mean? 41 years old? I'm fucking gonna die soon. Huh? Last tip, keep the bar close. You can push the bar further out. It's gonna make it more difficult. You're also gonna come up on your calves. It's gonna destabilize you. Force production will diminish. You want high degrees of force for maximum reps. Keep that bar flush to you. Is it gonna suck? Yeah. Are you gonna get jacked? Fuck yeah, you are. Folks, the third exercise today that's gonna destroy a ton of your body, I guess, and also get you an excellent workout, is the walking lunge. This can be done with dumbbells, it can be done with body weight, it can be done with a barbell, but it's a little bit different of a walking lunge than the traditional glute-focused walking lunge. In the glute-focused walking lunge, you're gonna wanna lean forward a little bit. You're gonna wanna step really, really wide and really far, and you're not gonna wanna press a lot off your back leg, but a ton off of your forward leg, because that's the glute. Forward leg glute is what you're hitting, really trying to isolate. But remember, no isolation for these exercises. We want multiple muscle groups at the same time. So if you wanna hit actually a little bit of your calves, a bunch of quads, a ton of adductors, and a crap ton of glutes at the same time, your walking lunges are gonna have shorter steps and leave you completely upright so that you make sure to have your knees go over your toes substantially and at the same time recruiting your glutes. This is an awesome, awesome leg exercise that if you do with another combo of these exercises and this, you're gonna cook your whole leg. The only thing really missing here is the hamstring. We'll get that on a bunch of the other exercises. So also painful, but fun, like, in a way that pain is fun. I had nothing to say and nothing out of my mouth came out that made any sense. Let's go. Yeah. All right, folks. Exercise number 4 in our list is the underhand pull down. Why, Mike? Why underhand? Because in life, you don't want to be swatting away things that people try to give you. You want to have an underhand open to take. Take. That's what I do. I was going to make a joke about my people. That'll get us canceled. Underhand pull down. It allows you to hit the lats and most of the back super well. But as opposed to a neutral grip or overhand pull down, the underhand pull down allows you to actively engage your biceps much more. And thus, it's actually a really awesome bicep exercise too, as well as a rear delt exercise. So just by doing one movement, underhand pull down, or assisted pull-up with an underhand grip, or regular pull-up with an underhand grip, you could hit a crap ton of back, a crap ton of rear delts, and a ton of biceps. And if you do this, even with your Versa grips, even without, you're gonna get a lot of forearm stimulation as well. So like, holy crap, that's a lot of muscle for just one exercise. Make sure at the top to get a big stretch, and make sure at the bottom to get a nice crunch and squeeze those elbows back. And at the same time, this is a little different, contract your biceps at the bottom to engage with them. So when you come back up through the eccentric, you're feeling your biceps generating a lot of tension. Great exercise. You could do it in 3 different ways: pull down machine, assisted pull-up machine, or regular free bar. The world is your oyster. Oh, Scott, do you like oysters? Scott's really fancy. He eats them all the time. He's just sick of them at this point. Exercise number 5 for saving time and getting jacked is the incline close grip press. Here's the thing. Incline close grip press hits all of your chest, including upper chest and middle chest and a little bit of lower chest too. Hits your front delts, hits your triceps. That's like 3 muscles all at the same time. Here's the best part. You can do this on a machine like the Atlantis press I'm gonna be demoing on. Incredible. You can use dumbbells. Just make sure you pull your elbows in tight and keep them close as you press. You can do it on a barbell. Here's the craziest thing. You can just do a flat version of this, close grip, tight elbows in, all the way up and down. You can do this with push-ups, deficit push-ups, as long as your grip is close. And even dips work to a huge extent in this regard. Fundamentally, this is about a compound close grip pressing movement that hits whatever part of your chest you're interested in, your front delts, and your triceps. Any one of these movements are gonna be awesome. We're mostly, if not only, gonna be demoing the incline versions, but all the other ones are totally great. And you can see why. 3 muscles robustly targeted in one exercise. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of that if you're smoking it. Oh no, is that hypoallergenic? Nah, my lungs are still fucked up. So for any version of this you do, full range of motion is really good, especially that deep stretch. And at the bottom, don't let your elbows flare out. That lets the chest take over, which is cool for chest, but leaves your triceps hanging a little bit. So try to keep a bit of a closer grip, tighter elbows. It's not like a hard rule. It's like, what's that rule? Like, you're not allowed to like take your neighbor's TV off their wall. There's like a law against it, but the neighbors, they get upset. So set up here, slow and controlled, nice and deep, press up, slow and controlled, pause, press up, just like that. Folks, exercise number 6 is for the shoulders, or as not Jewish people call them, shoulders. It's the hang muscle snatch. And yes, I did make that up. And yes, it does have snatch in the name, but nothing to do with the female anatomy. Would be desired, but not in this case. It's to do with a weightlifting movement called the snatch. In weightlifting, the snatch is when you start out from a deficit deadlift position and you pull the bar super high, hit your hips under it to propel it even further, dip under it and squat up. The muscle snatch is where you don't really do much of that second pull. You don't get under the bar a ton. You just get that first pull going, keep it moving, and then just all the way up to a lockout. It's like a deficit deadlift to an upright row to a shoulder press. Weightlifters, I'm really sorry I'm butchering all of this, I know. For the hang muscle snatch, the only thing I could call it, other than an upright row to shoulder press superset, which would also be accurate, but there's a little bit of a difference. We're not just doing upright rows and then turning them into shoulder presses. It's one continuous motion from standing through an upright row, but you keep the momentum going and you turn in to finish the press. It really gets your rear delts going and then your side delts, and then it uses your front and side delts to continue the motion. It is actually a whole delt exercise. Is it fun to do? Yeah, if like stepping on nails and getting hit by cars is fun, but will it get you jacked shoulders and all 3 heads at the same time? Yeah, well, see where else you can find a better deal than that. Don't come crawling back because it's 10% more if you don't sign now. Scott, was I supposed to be a used car salesman?
It's like a gangster.
Used car gangster. from the 20s, eh? Anyway, people from the 1920s, I know you didn't actually talk like that. I greatly apologize. Jason Michael Preston, not the inventor of the JM press. Actually, that title goes to J.M. Blakely, an awesome dude and a super accomplished powerlifter. And the JM press is an excellent tool to hit your triceps. It's like a modified skull crusher that also involves a bit more front delts than normal and a bit more chest than normal. If you think of a skull crusher as one movement, and you think of a close grip bench press as another movement, the JM press is right between the two, kind of like a sick, lecherous love child, birthed in a nasty motel, not loved, not wanted, forced to walk the streets alone. Guess whose house he walked up on? In the cold, it was raining sleet and hail. J.M. Blakely sitting there, drinking a cup of hot chocolate, sees this poor, pathetic, young hybrid lift walking by, nowhere to be. What does J.M. do? Invites him in, puts him to work on growing chest, shoulders, and triceps at the same time. Combine this exercise in your program with a close grip press of some kind, and you have chest and shoulders and triceps all taken care of in just 2 exercises. So folks, we're gonna break at the elbows, keeping them close, flush to the body, and you're gonna descend somewhere around your upper chest area. You're gonna come down here, pause. I've got huge biceps, so I can go any lower. I'm like Nick Walker, help me, Nick. Press up, control, pause, press up. Bonus if you can touch your chest. Pause, press up, elbows in, gentle, pause, and press. Just like that. Folks, you can do this exercise with a barbell. You can do it with a Smith machine. You can do it with dumbbells. But if you're a strong king or a really strong queen, you can try this with body weight and push-up style. I highly recommend you put your feet up against something solid to give yourself a little bit more purchase. Get your hands just up around your chin area, close grip. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do a push-up all the way down. You're gonna lie your forearms flat to the ground, and then you're gonna press out of that angle. A ton of triceps, a ton of chest, a ton of front delts. If you do a few reps of this, you're officially strong. If you do 10, why are you watching videos instead of fighting crime? Now go fight crime. All right, folks, the last time-saving multi-muscle group exercise is another trippy combo. It is the fly curl press. Like you say to yourself at home, eating Cheetos and getting a Cheeto dust on the remote control to your plasma screen television. You're just combining random exercises. Well, that might be true to some people who don't know things. To people that really know things, it's also true. But it just works. So check this out. We start up here, and we are gonna do a classic cable fly. We're gonna go all the way down for a big stretch. Notice, I'm not cocking my biceps like this. I'm letting them go full stretch as well as my chest. The next movement is for me to bicep curl, strict, no bullshit. Bicep curl all the way to this position here, which sets us up for a press, returning us back to the fly, slow, eccentric, and then a curl, and then a press, and then a fly, and then a curl, and then a press, just like that. Each one of those is a rep. I know what you're thinking, this is crazy and only a crazy person would do it. But is it really so crazy to want to save time and get jacked? Do I sound like one of those Geico commercial people, Scott? Max, the editor boy? Do you still, okay. In any case, why this exercise? Because it was just one movement and just one of you hogging the awesome free motion machine at your gym. You get to have an ability to hit your chest with the fly movement on that ultra important eccentric. You get to hit your biceps on the bicep curl, but actually you're hitting your biceps because they're being lengthened across the shoulder joint this way as well. So you're hitting your biceps concentric and eccentric. And then you're hitting your front delts, triceps, and pecs again on the press. And while front delts and triceps get a little bit of work here, it still counts, especially if you have multiple exercises in your daily program. So what you can do is you can have the fly hit your chest and the biceps, You hit your biceps with the curl, and then you press, and you would think, okay, why not just fly back up? Because if you curl, you could curl back and then fly again. That gets really tiresome for your chest. You want your chest and biceps and pushing ability to fail roughly at the same time. So the eccentric part of the fly is the easiest part. You can do a bunch of those even when you're not strong enough to do the concentric. The concentric curl from this angle isn't terribly difficult because it gets easier as you go. Here it feels nice and easy, and then you can press a lot more than you can fly. You press out, which gives your biceps a little rest, and then we're back through the whole cycle. Give this a shot. It's a little wacky. This is that uncle that comes over Thanksgiving. He's kind of weird. He throws up into the food sometimes, but Uncle Phil, you love the guy. All right, folks, 8 exercises that combine multiple muscle groups, hit all of them super well. There are many ways to structure this. One of them is that you can take a few of these exercises that don't have a lot of overlapping muscle groups or any, like some of the pressing stuff and the pulling stuff, some of the stuff that's just for lower body versus some of the stuff just for shoulders, pair them with each other. So as soon as you're done doing a set of one, with basically no rest, you go do a set of the other. Sets of 15 to 20 reps, a few combo sets like that. Oh my God, you're gonna be cooked. Great cardiovascular workout. You're gonna get jacked. You're gonna be sweaty. I don't know if the sweaty part's a benefit, but people go in the sauna voluntarily and sit on the beach. That's nice, that makes you sweat. In any case, you can make a bunch of awesome programs with this sort of exercise situation. You can program all these exercises into your RP Hypertrophy app, or if you don't like the app, no worries. Anything you want to do on your own is totally awesome. And for me, the best part of it is that once I'm done with these amazing exercises, I'm in the gym with all of my friends.